Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live. And today is Thursday, September 24th, 2020, and we again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day. The final hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades. I say this because during the day, the algorithms and the day traders, they are in control of the price. At the end of the day, in the last hour, and particularly in the last few minutes, the large financial institutions come in. They're dealing with a lot of money. They're buying and selling lots of shares, and that strength in their buying and selling takes the control away from the day traders and the algorithms. And they are dealing with very, very smart people, lots of money, like I said, best technology, best information, and I like to piggyback my buying and selling decisions based upon what they are doing. So thank you all for coming today. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you spending your time here, investing your time. I hope it is helping to improve your trading and your investing. Currently, the market is, oh my gosh, the Dow is only up 25 points. It was up a lot earlier. And the NASDAQ is only up 21 points, up a lot earlier, and the S&P is up 4. So we've had quite a bit of a reversal here, that's for sure. So listen, here's the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. After that, I did have a couple good day trades today that I'm going to share with you, one to the long side, one to the short side. After that, we're going to go through the stocks up on the board, your positions. We're going to go through each one by one, take a look and see how those are doing. After that, we're going to switch gears, talk a little bit about trader psychology, the importance of trader psychology and sticking with your plan. It's the greatest skill you will ever acquire. When I get new students, they always want to know about, entries, exits, support, resistance, which of course that you need to learn that. But, what I kind of tell them is all this is required, but the most important skill you'll ever hone is the ability to follow your plan. So we'll talk about that. After that, I've gone down through my watch list. I've gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner today. I have 3 requirements whenever I look to enter a trade. First requirement, I need to look for a confluence or combination of indicators on multiple time frames. If possible, secondly, even if you have a good confluence or combination of signals, you have to analyze it, put it in context, see if there's a good risk to reward ratio there available. And 2-to-1 is my requirement. If I'm going to risk $100 with strong support underneath me, I need to be able to make at least 200 or more to the upside based upon some type of valid and likely resistance above me. And then number 3, mention this each day, but please keep it in mind. Do your best, make an effort to have a diversified group of holdings in your trade. Don't just trade in one particular industry. Have maybe some in tech, some in healthcare, some in tobacco, some in automobiles, but get some diversification so that you don't get clobbered if that industry gets hit really hard that day. And go outside of equities as well, like gold, bonds, silver, oil, maybe the dollar, things like that, for even more diversification. And diversification in stock selection is good, and diversification in your types of approaches, your different trading strategies is also good. You want to get as much diversification all across the board in trading as you can, in my humble experience. So we'll go down through the results of those scanners. We'll pick them apart one by one. At the end of the day, I'll try to narrow it down to the very, very best one with that meet my 3 requirements. And if they do, I'll go ahead and place a trade at the end of the day. After the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you have any stock symbols that you'd like me to look at before the close of the day, put them in the chat, put an asterisk by it or emoji so I know it's time sensitive, and I'll do my very best to get to it. And then lastly, if you have any new positions at the end of the day for me to update on the board, if you could please wait till the end of the day after I'm done teaching, after I'm done trading, and the market's closed, the pressure's off, and then we'll take all the time that we need to do that. Okay, so that's the plan. That's the format for today. I'm going to run that U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, thanks for holding through that with me. Let's see who is here. Quad is here. Good to see you, Quad. And I'm looking forward to speaking to you tonight at 7 p.m. my time, which I think is 9 o'clock your time. So looking forward to speaking with you again. Hey, Kamal, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for everything you do for the channel. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the results of the scanner today. And really appreciate Kamal being part of this channel. Bob is here. Hello, Greg and traders. Hello, Bob. Good to see you. Kamal also says, hey, Greg and gang. Steve says, hi, Greg. I emailed you the incorrect proof copy of the book. Thanks for agreeing to write the foreword. I am honored. I am honored, Steve. Really, I am really a privilege and really an honor to be able to write a foreword. I've never written it, so I hope I do a good job. But okay, so that was the not the correct copy. So I'll wait for the correct copy. I'm really looking forward to reading that. I've never read someone's book before it's been published. It's kind of cool, right? But thanks for being here, Steve. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for everything all the great posts that you provide on Facebook and Twitter each day. They're always helpful. Thanks for all the great content and books that you've written and the e-courses you have on your website, which is newtraderu.com, by the way. If you haven't been there, everybody, go check it out. It's a great site, newtraderu. Brian says, hey, everyone. Well, Greg, SPI earned me a 76% return based on today and yesterday. I risk only 1%. I think the game is now over. Oh, that was that big stock yesterday, huh? Let's take a look and see. Oh, man. Man. Well, closing below halfway of the bar, so it rejected right about that 50% and came back down. It might be down today. Fantastic, Brian. Beautiful. Way to go, my friend. Johan is here. Hello, everyone. Hey, Johan. Good chatting with you today. An excellent breakdown of, excellent analysis of the stocks today that you had me look at. Johan sent me some stocks he wanted me to look at, and I said, why don't you break them down for me? Let me see where you're at. And he did a fantastic job. He analyzed them on the daily. He analyzed them on the weekly. He analyzed the risk on both. Just excellent. Well done, Johan. Steve says, nice risk management, Brian. Well done. I agree. Dan says, hi, Greg and group. Nice, Brian. 100%. Good to see you, Dan. Frank says, hello, and Greg and group. Frank says, wow, Brian, I'm telling you. Good to see you, Frank. Really nice to have you here as always, and thanks for everything you do for the channel. Steve says, VIX just can't break the 200-day moving average resistance. Well, look at that. Let's look at that old VIXy. Yeah, it rejected it here, rejected it yesterday, rejected it today. Look at that. Sellers are just coming in here. So, I mean, that is somewhat of a good sign for the market, although the 10 EMA is still above the 30 EMA, which shows an increase in volatility. David is here. Hey, Dave. Good to see you, my friend. Hope your shoulder's doing well. Frank has a poem for us. Let's take a look at the poem. Ask a trader where a stock is going, and the honest answer is there's no way of really knowing. We manage risk and look for trends, but how it all ends, well, that all depends. So good. And Frank brings up a good point here. You have no idea what's going to happen with the stock, right? All you can do is manage risk. That is our job as traders. We're risk managers. We're not stock traders necessarily. We're risk managers. Focus on the risk and the profit will come. If you only focus on the profit, the risk is going to get you. So, that sounds like a simple little statement, but there's a lot of wisdom in that. Focus on your risk. Keep your risks small because you don't, like Frank's poem said, you do not know what's going to happen, but you can react to what's happening. And when you have a loss, when you have a small loss, you can just get out. Miko is here. Hey, Miko, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, sir. Steve says that is the correct copy to write a forward to be ready for publication. Oh, you mean Frank's poem? Is that what you mean, Steve? That is the correct copy to write a forward for to be ready for publication. Oh, Steve, now I'm confused. Are you saying that the PDF you sent me is the correct copy now? Because above you said it wasn't, so maybe you realized it is. Anyway, just if you could confirm, otherwise I'll be waiting for a new copy. So let me know. Brian says, thanks everyone. I rarely take a risk on that type of stock, but I wondered if anyone in the chat takes a little risk at times on stocks like that. Glenn says, hey Greg, sitting on the sidelines waiting for a buy signal. That's good. That's what we should be doing. We should be waiting on the sidelines, just waiting for that good signal. We should just be sitting there at the plate waiting for that perfect pitch to come by, right, Glenn? Quad says, if anyone knows the next company to have a bull run like SPI, please let us know. We will be able to retire. I'm telling you. Steve says, no, the manuscript I sent you. Okay, so that is correct. Got it. Looking forward to that. I had to send you an early edit to have time for you to write the forward. Okay. And Steve, by the way, is there a time limitation here? What's my deadline to write the forward? Okay. Here we go. Let's take a look. First on deck, the all-famous, world-famous overnight SPY trade. I buy the SPY every night at the close. I hold it overnight. I sell it the first thing the next morning. Win, lose, or draw. Why do I do this? This is based on a long-term backtested study from Liz Ann Saunders. She's at Bespoke Invest on Twitter since 1993. They tested two approaches. Approach one, buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the entire day, sell it at the close. This approach, done every day since 1993, would have returned a negative 13.9% return. However, the opposite, which is the one that I use, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning. This approach gained 634.2% return. I've said this many times, but it's still amazing to me every time I say it. We know the market's gone up since 1993. But what this backtest is telling you is that all the returns in the market, all of them, have come in the overnight session. They've come from the close till the next morning's open. They have not come during the day. So that is why I'm a long-term holder of SPY, but I only hold it overnight. I don't hold it through the day. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. It's worked well since 1993, but it doesn't mean it has to work in the future. Blue line, buy the close, sell the next morning. Orange line, buy the morning, sell the same day close. Huge difference. You can see the blue line over time. All it's done is gone up, but has significant drawdowns, multi-year drawdowns. So it's not all rainbows, butterflies, and Skittles, right? So if you're considering using this approach, use a very small position size. A nice conservative position size would be a 5% of your capital. So if you had $100,000, you would take $5,000 of that, buy at the close, sell the open, buy the close, sell the open. If more aggressive is 10%, or you can also take your maximum allowed risk on any trade, divide it by the value of the 2 ATR. That will account for volatility and will change the amount of shares that you buy around each day. That's a good way to go as well. So last couple days have not been so kind on the S&P overnight SPY trade, but that's how it goes. I did buy it yesterday at 322.64. I sold it this morning for a loss at 321.22. So yesterday's was a gain. That's right. But, had a great run over the last 4 or 5 months. But just like anything else, there's the ebb and flow of the market. But I will be buying this again today at the close. But again, this was a loss. I bought it at 324.64 yesterday at the close and sold it this morning at the open at 321.22. Zynga. All right, Yas and Quad and we did buy Zynga with this nice V1 false breakout to the downside, under 30, over 30. Bought it here at 836. Yesterday, I hit one profit target yesterday, and then I got out of half my position because yesterday went above 50 and below 50, so I locked in half of the profits there. But today, back up over the 50 RSI, it's 51.04, and I hit another profit target here at 8.84. So this has been a good trade from entry to current price, 5.64%. Although, of course, I did not make that much because I have been phasing out. Anyway, so far, so good. So far, so good for Gary, Yas, Quad, and myself. Amazon. All right. I have puts on Amazon. I sold puts on Amazon down here to $2,300. Currently, we're at $3,018.65, which means I have protection of approximately 23.75% to the downside. If it stays above $2,300 by November 20th, I will be able to keep all the premium that I wrote. If not, I will be required to exit the position down here for a loss, depending how long it takes to get down there, or I'll be required to buy it. I picked the $2,300 mark because it dovetails nicely with the 200-day above as support, 250-day as support. On the weekly, I have the 50-week moving average as support, and on the monthly, I have the 20-month moving average and the 1 ATR channel above as support. So whenever I sell puts, I want to see on 3 time frames some kind of significant support above my strike price. Doesn't mean it will hold, but it does improve the chances. So this is up today. It was up higher earlier. This has been kind of a wild ride. I got it back here. So I'm up on the trade. We had that huge move up, and then yesterday, huge move down, and today was up nicely, but got rejected, but still positive. So I won't even consider doing anything with it unless it becomes negative. As long as it just stays positive, I'm just going to just let the time decay work in my favor and the protection to the downside work in my favor. Apple. I do have puts also that I sold on Apple at 77.50. I have the 200 and the 200-day, 250-day moving average above me as support on the weekly, on the daily. On the weekly, I have support of the 50-week moving average and the high over here. Previous highs, if you can break through, act as support. So that dovetails nicely at the 77.50 mark. And on the monthly, I have the 1 ATR and I have the 20-month moving average in that zone as well. So those are all positive as well. Let's take a look day trade wise. I took this trade shortly before the podcast started. I almost didn't take it, but the reason I took it was right. Hope you can see this okay. There was a really beautiful confluence of indicators. This was a short trade. Look back over here. Do you see this big down bar we have? The real big down bar here. Well, any big down bars, a rally back up into the halfway is going to add some kind of resistance from a Fibonacci standpoint. Well, that's exactly what caught my eye. And then I had a V1 to the downside, lost the 50-day moving average, lost the 50 RSI. I shorted here at 109.20, and it started off beautifully, came down here. It bounced off the third ATR channel. I was getting kind of close to the podcast, so I decided just to take the whole trade off. So I shorted at 109.20, and I got out at 108.44. So not too bad. Yeah, almost $1 in 10 minutes. And then Philip Morris. Had a really nice trade back here on Philip Morris. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. This is not a perfect couple days of sideways motion. Well, it was 2 days of sideways motion here, but do you see the bar that has the red, green triangle, the V1 to the downside? Whenever you have a V1 to the downside, that's a negative sign. But if you can immediately reverse the next bar over and overcome that bearishness with bullishness, that's why I bought it. So we had a V1 to the downside, they immediately reversed. It also closed back above the 5-day moving average. It was in the value zone. I bought it here at 76.06, and this was just a really nice, easy cakewalk all the way up. Just up, 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 up. Here, we had a close below the previous day's low. I got out a half. Here, we have a close, I'm sorry. Here we had a close below the previous day's low. I got out a half. Here, we lost the 70 RSI. So I got in at 76.06. I got out at 76.75 and I got out at 76.93. So pretty good trades there. And now it's, well, let's see, are we all, yeah, we're negative across the board now. Wow. Holy camole. Okay, so those are my trades. Green day, which I'm definitely grateful for. Let's take a look at your trades here. Now, I think I have these correct. I'm not 100% sure. It looks like I still have Andrea in Alibaba. I got out yesterday Alibaba with the 520 cross. So if Andrea is still in, I don't know if she is, at 275.26, and it is 268.51. So down on the day, down on the trade. Intel. Bob bought Intel back here at 49.22. This has been a pretty long-term trade. It's 48.82, so it is underwater now, and it is down on the day. Gary sold puts 45.40s, so he has protection down to 45, expiring November 20th. So, but it is up a little bit today, so that helps. All right, Kamal bought BMRN back here on the 16th. He bought it at 75.58. Went up nicely, came down today. I know Kamal told me that he got out earlier in the day, so I'm not sure where. But right now, it's just slightly above the entry point. So it is down today, but I know Kamal got out earlier in the day, so he can let me know. But I think that ended up as a profit. Google, we have David and Steve Burns bought Google with the bounce off the 200-day moving average at 1421.86. Had a nice bounce. Then we went down big yesterday. Today we had a nice big rally. Still holding the 200-day. It looks like it's slightly under the entry point of 1421, but is still holding the 200-day. And Gary sold puts down to 1200, expiring November 20th. So Gary will be able to keep all the premiums as long as it closes above 1200 by then, and it's 1414 right now. PD, Kamal also bought PD at 2490. It's had a nice trade here. Is down 2.77% today, but it looks like he's still profitable on the trade. EA, Brian bought EA back here, I believe here at 129.37. It is 129.10, so slightly down on the trade, but up on the day. VWM, Johan bought VWM at 142.70. It is now 139.71. It is up on the day, but down on the trade. PayPal, Brian bought PayPal at 183.40. It is now 180.65. So down on the day, down on the trade. JD, Kamal bought JD at 75.20. It is now 72.51. So down on the day, down on the trade. Dang, earlier everything was up. Bob bought First Cash way back here at 58.10 on the 4th of August. Spent the majority of time in the profitable area. I don't know if Bob still has this, but is up slightly today, but down on the trade. GDXJ. Yas bought GDXJ at 58.35. Had a nice rally, but it's underwater now. It is up 2% today, but down on the trade. Dang, earlier everything looks so good. Brian and Johan bought Twitter at 40.16 back on the 18th of September. Had a huge run, but it is down 5.27% today. Las Vegas Sands, Gary bought November 20th $50 strikes, meaning that in order for this option on this call to be in the money and intrinsically in the money, it needs to be above $50 by November 20th. Otherwise, it will expire. The call will expire worthless. So it has to be above $50 by November 20th. But it is up on the day, so that's good. LVGO, Frank, good call there. Frank bought LVGO at 132.50. Yesterday, he sold half while it was still profitable, which is good. Today, it is down almost 3%, and it is. So, that's what I was saying about buying or selling half. Selling half yesterday, if it went up today, he should still be happy because it went up and he still has half, and he should be happy today that he sold half before it went down. Oh. This is our last one. And SHLL. Bob bought SHLL at 46.68. Initially went up nicely. Came down yesterday, but oh boy, down 9.5% today. So yeah, this one really moved down, unfortunately. Sorry to see that, Bob. Darn. All right. Steve says, we are trying to publish this weekend. Will that give you enough time? And it's basically the same as the first edition, except TrendSpider charts and more back-tested data. If you are too busy, no problem. I'll do my best, Steve. I have to teach is the problem. I have some lessons I have to teach, and I want to read the manuscript. Shoot. Maybe we can chat on Skype about that, about realistically, because with the lessons I have to teach the next couple nights, I obviously want to read it before, but maybe we can chat about that. Glenn says 5 SMA 3278 is acting as resistance on the S&P 500. 3278. We're at 3247. So Glenn is saying 3278 is acting as resistance. Elliott Wave guys have a target of 3147 by the end of the month. Ooh, that wouldn't be good. But who knows? It's possible. Frank says, I am puzzled by my LVGO. It will be merged with TDOC in about 2 weeks for an agreed $1,556 a share. Why does it wallow in the low 130s? Yeah, I don't know. Chris says, another beautiful overnight trade on Apple, $21,780. Love it. Whoa, fantastic, Chris. Very nice, my friend. You've had some real winners on Apple lately, for sure. Chris says, good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon, Chris. Steve says approximately 95% of my moving average signals are bearish cross-unders now. Yeah, I would imagine. Frank says, the last hour of trading, Greg, is looking more and more like a giant exit door. Could be. For so long, we've had the market go up in that last hour, but be interesting to see if it can't hold today. Steve says, thanks, Greg. I understand. Kamal says, at Frank, it sure is. Okay. Listen, before we go down through the watch list, before I look for the end of day trades, just want to talk, get away from charts a little bit and talk about trader psychology. Of course, Everybody knows Steve Burns. He's here in the chat with us. He posts really great information. This is a post over on Facebook, I believe, Facebook. But let's see what Steve wrote, because when I read this, I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Steve says, don't confuse gambling with trading. They are two different things, everybody, but they can be the same thing if you're not careful. How many times when you tell people you're a trader, they say, it's just gambling, is it? Well, technically it's not, right? Technically, gambling has a built-in edge against you where that doesn't happen in the markets. But depending who is trading, it could be considered gambling or it could be considered trading. Make sure that we're trading, not gambling. Don't confuse speculation with investing. Another good one. Don't confuse a curse for an opportunity. Don't confuse emotions with truth. They are not the same thing. Don't confuse opinions with fact. They are also not the same thing. Don't confuse luck with skill. Don't confuse lust for love. That's for sure. This one here, don't confuse luck with skill. I can't remember. I saw somebody on Twitter post and said, hey, I wonder how many people figured out this month that they don't really understand how to be traders. I mean, in the summer, the market went up. You could buy anything, and basically, the tide lifted all boats, which would make a person think that they were probably a pretty good investor or trader. Well, it's not the case. When we have drawdowns, people realize maybe that they're not as good of traders as they thought because they're not adjusting with the market. So don't confuse luck with skill. I've been lucky. Would you rather be lucky or good? I think all in all, I'd rather be good, right? One more time. Don't confuse gambling with trading. Don't confuse speculation with investing. Don't confuse a curse for an opportunity. Don't confuse emotions with truth. Don't confuse opinions with facts. Don't confuse luck with skill. Don't confuse luck with skill, right? And don't confuse lust for love. Two different things there for sure. So thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I saw that today and I was like, that's a good one. I need to talk about that. Frank says, amazing, Chris. Not used to hearing numbers like that. I know. Chris has some big numbers. I think, would you buy 9,000 shares? I think last week he told us he bought 9,000 shares and had a couple points on that. Fantastic. Fantastic. Glenn says LVGO price depends on the price of TDOC. If TDOC is down, then LVGO will be down. TDOC are buying LVGO with stock and cash. Oh, thank you, Glenn. Glenn is a wealth of information when it comes to levels and kind of the mechanics of everything. So I really appreciate that contribution, Glenn. William says that was a great word of teaching by Steve Burns. Don't confuse. That's right. Dan says, anyone here about JP Morgan facing $1 billion fine for spoofing in the metals? Yeah, I read something about that. It's interesting that all they have to do is pay a fine, right? If they manipulated a market, which, well, they did get down there quite a bit, didn't they? Let's take a look. That didn't hit the 30. Chris says it was IONG or it was long. I'm not sure. IONG. It was long. 904,000 was the buy-in. Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured it had to be something around there. Kamal says the EXAS we were looking at yesterday, the rocket ship. EXAS. Holy smokes. Man. Holy smokes. I don't know what happened there, but tell me exactly why I didn't buy that. Was it the volume? I hate to be a bat now. There was plenty of volume. Oh my gosh. Well, that would have been a nice surprise this morning, huh? Holy smokes, Kamal. Darn it. That was a pretty decent setup too, wasn't it? MACD positive, V2, false breakout. Well, sometimes you don't get them all, right? Dang. That'd have been nice. That would have been nice, nice, nice. All right. Well, listen, before we start looking at the potentials here, just want to quickly, let's take a look here. S&P, wow, that was up a lot higher. By the way, I was speaking with Johan earlier, and I mentioned to him I was a little concerned about today's actions on a lot of stocks. And the reason why, yesterday we had a big down bar. I'm looking at the NASDAQ here. Yesterday we had a big down bar. When Johan and I were speaking about it, it was right about here. It was right at the half. See, we have the down bar and we rallied back into the halfway. And he asked me why I was a little cautious on stocks today. And I said, because we've had this rally right back up into yesterday, half of yesterday's bar, which is a Fibonacci point, which very often can go down from there. And so that's what got me concerned. And so that's the NASDAQ. Here's the S&P. Again, we have big down bar. We have a rally back right about to the halfway point of that. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? So here, we have a big down bar. I'm not surprised by a rally, but see how it got denied right about here? And look at the volume yesterday. The volume was quite big to the downside. Today on the rally, look here. So that's concerning for me in a variety of ways. So, those are the little things that I keep in mind when I decide what I'm going to buy and how much I'm going to buy and things like that. But that's concerning, and it's concerning that, we're down, that we're down after being up so much. So, all right, Zynga is fine. It has lost the 50 RSI, but I did already take half when it rejected the 50 yesterday. So I'm not going to do it twice. Did hit one profit target today. Now I'm just waiting for a close below the previous day's low. But it is green, so that is positive. It's been green through the whole down move. So the relative strength on Zynga has been fantastic. Amazon, again, we had the big down bar yesterday. We got a little higher than 50%, but that 50% retracement into yesterday's bar halfway did fail, but it is still up, so that's positive. Apple, this looks like it's rallying a little bit here at the end of the day. Yeah. False breakout, upside. We'll have to see how it reacts around the 50, though. That will be the key. But those are puts. And Philip Morris, interesting. Interesting. That wouldn't, if I was day trading today, I would consider that. Maybe not now. It's run a little bit too far away from the 200. Okay. Dan says, great, Kamal. Maybe because 200 close above is the reason you lost interest. I hope I can come up with a reason that I lost interest on that. No. I don't think so. That 200 was pretty high above there for me to consider that. I mean, Johan and I were talking about, where is Sprouts Fresh Market? Here. This is the kind of trade I would be concerned with the 200 above. I mean, this is a nice V1 here, sideways motion, breakdown, reverse back up. But this is the kind of 200 day that I would be concerned about above. But yesterday, oh, come on, Greg. I've mentioned this before, but if I ever get another computer, it's not going to be a silver one because I have skylights right above me and I can't see what numbers and letters are on the keyboard because of the light above. If it was black, I could see it. Maybe I should get that changed. But yeah, yesterday's, let's take a look at the RSI. I'm trying to figure out why I didn't buy this. It didn't reject the 70, but I like this false breakout to the downside. MACD was positive. Well, you know, that's backseat driving, right? Everything's clear in hindsight. But that's unfortunate. That would have been a great trade. Darn it. Brian says, nice trade, Chris. How much did you risk? John says, EXAS, you mentioned you'd like to see it go up and back down for a higher low V1. I don't think it was that one, Johan. I remember saying that, but it was one that was, I believe, further down. It was underneath the -1 ATR channel. I wanted to see it come up and then come back down. I don't think it was this one. I really don't. I could be wrong, but yeah, I'm just bummed I didn't buy that. Darn it. Kamal says, we should see yesterday's video for EXAS. Yeah, we can watch it. I mean, I can't do it right here, but I'm definitely going to go back and take a look as I dismissively dismiss it. Nah, I don't want EXAS. Johan says, checked it already. Oh, you did? So it was? All right. Oh, well. AGQ. Yes, AGQ is on my list today. Under 30, over 30, under the 100, over the 100. So this is a possibility. This is a possibility for me here. Okay, are these the ones I already have on my watch list though? Let's see. Yeah. It's a higher low V1. Has rejected the 1 ATR channel. Let's see, Work and Levi. Do I have those in here? I don't think I would get this one. It's already rejected the 1 ATR channel right here, right now. Work, I already have on there. Levi Strauss. It's okay. It's a higher low V1, rejected the 50-day moving average, rejected the 50 RSI, has triggered a V1. Yeah, this one looks pretty good. Come on. Nice V1 on the weekly as well. That one's not bad. Merck is on the list. RDFN. Yeah, the thing about this one that concerns me, Kamal, is, look, here's the big downward bar. And see where we stopped? Right there. Right there. So I don't like that one very, very well. And then the other ones are on the watch list. Karen says, EXES, I remember you said that buying the lower low, you play for a bounce, but buying a higher high. Okay, that makes more sense. I do remember saying that. Maybe I said both of those things. Yeah, I can see that. Because generally lower lows do, you are playing for a bounce. And higher lows, you're playing for a trend. But this bar here changed everything now. I wouldn't not chase this here, but the place, in my opinion, the place to buy this would be here. See the bar, the big up bar? It should hold 50% Fibonacci support, and that Fibonacci support right there at the 200-day moving average. I wouldn't chase this here, but if it came back down here and you could get a good risk to reward with the 50 fib and the 200 confluence, that would be good. Listen, I'd rather have positive MACD quad, but on a deep dip buy, and in particular, you know, the confluence of the 30 RSI and the 100-day moving average, I don't think you're ever going to get a positive MACD on that kind of pullback. You know, generally deep dip buys, you're not going to get positive MACD. I guess it's possible, but all right. I just lost my trade navigator. Darn it. Sorry, everybody. Tell you what, let's put this up as a placeholder. Make someone smile today. Tell them how much they mean to you. You'll both feel good. Gosh darn it. When this happens, it's frustrating because it takes a minute for this thing to boot back up. Apologies. All right. Oh, we have 10 minutes left. Gosh, dang it. And you know what else it's going to do? I think I lost all of my stocks that I was looking at. When this crashes in the middle, okay. Let's see if this is the case. Yep. Shucks. Darn it, darn it, darn it. I apologize. I had this full with all the ones on the list. I know AGQ is on there. Kamal, could you quickly give me a rundown on some of the ones that we wanted to look at? Work. Levi. Thank you. All right. So we had Disney on there also. We had Google. And we had Sprouts Fresh Market. I believe those were the best ones. So AGQ does have the under 30, over 30, under the 100, over the 100. Scary as hell. This trade is scary as hell, no doubt about it. But I am using the 2ATR as for my position size, so it doesn't matter if it's 2 times, 3 times. This is 2 times, by the way. It's 2 times leverage, but if you take your maximum allowed loss and you divide the 2ATR to it, it levels everything out. So I am interested in that. Bill here looked pretty good. V1, bullish engulfing, 520 cross, MACD crossover, 1.29 million shares, not bad. On the weekly, we're in the value zone. On the monthly, we're in an uptrend. Weekly, pull back to the value zone. You know, could be worse entries than this and increased volume, so I do kind of like that. Ollie, we talked, it's just, it is a V1. I don't like that it's already rejected the 1ATR channel. ORLY, that looks like an under 30, over 30, bounce into the value zone. Monthly is up, weekly's in the value zone. But it's down $5 today. I don't like that. Levi, we talked about that. It's okay. It's okay. Merck. Again, we have that big down bar, and we rejected the halfway. That concerns me. RDFN, same thing. Big down bar, rejection. WDAY. This is a higher low V1. This one is not bad either. Let's look at the weekly. We had the big up bar, but see how we've lost the halfway of that bar? That's a bad sign, so that concerns me a little bit. Disney did, I believe, and let's see if this went under 30 or not. No, it didn't. We have that big bar there. I mean, it's over the 200 day. I don't like that it's down on the day. So I think I'd look at something else. Google. Look, you know, Google has bounced off the 200-day moving average 3 times. Here, here, and here. I know David and Steve and Gary have positions in Google. It did reject halfway of the big down bar yesterday. You know, it's okay. It's okay. It's a good risk to reward ratio. You have the negative third ATR channel and the 200-day moving average. Doesn't mean it's going to hold, but I'd much rather have those things underneath me than above. And Sprouts Fresh Market, we talked a little bit about that. I do like the V1. I do like the close over the 200. I'm just a little concerned about that 200-day moving average above. So that's what concerns me the most right there. Oh, thanks, Johan. Oh, FAS was also another one. I don't like that it rejected yesterday's halfway of yesterday's big down bar, and it rejected the negative third ATR channel. UI, that's right. I like UI, but there's only 113,000 shares traded. I mean, you know, we had this sideways motion. MACD did go positive. We have a V1. We have a bullish engulfing. We are back into the value zone, but it's only 113,000 shares, so not enough. SINA. Yeah, that one's pretty good. This is a nice higher low V2 for sure. Red green bar, Kamal, right? This is a nice higher low V2. There's no doubt about it. Moving averages is starting to spread out. Beautiful V2 over the 50 RSI, under 50, over 50. That one's pretty good. That one is pretty good. No doubt about that. Twillo. Twillo has already rejected the 50 RSI. And Siri, under 30, over 30 with the V1, but it has rejected the third. You know, my two favorite here are AGQ and Sina. Oh, I only have 5 minutes to go. Shoot. Oh, Steve's long AGQ after the drop below the 30 and break back above. Good reversal signal. Yep. Yeah, I agree. That was my favorite. I mean, it is a little scary here, but so you have to position size correctly. So let me see. I am going to buy AGQ. Got to do it over here too. And then I'll make a decision on that other one, whether or not I'm going to buy that. All right, so I am long AGQ. I 100% agree, Steve. That's been my favorite one all day. Best risk to reward ratio, under 30, over 30, under the 100, over the 100, and a V1, and a very good risk to reward. Yes, MACD is positive because when you get a 30 RSI 100-day confluence, it means you went down hard. And rarely, if you go down harder, you're going to get a positive MACD. Let me take a look at Sina on the I mean, it's over 250,000 shares. Yeah, I'm tell you what, I'm not going to buy this, but I do like the signal. I do like the signal. The sideways motion, the under 50, over 50 with the V2 and the false breakout to the downside on the monthly, or let's see. Oh no, that was the other one. Weekly's okay. Nothing too excited about the weekly, but this daily is good and it gives a really good risk to reward ratio. You know, if we close below halfway of the washout bar, yesterday's washout bar, right about there, then we would have lost the 5, the 10, the 50, the 20, the 50 RSI. And so I am not going to buy this, but I do like that setup on Cinna. All right, let me take a quick check. Is there anything I need to know? Zynga's doing good. SPY went back positive. Okay, this is all good. All right. So I am long AGQ, and I think that's the only one I'm going to take today. You know, I already have exposure to tech through Amazon and Apple, so I'm going to be a little conservative there. All right, looks like we have 1 minute. Bob says Intel. I like the false breakout from these lows. And did we have a V1? Yes, we did have a V1. I mean, it's okay. Yesterday's bar was a little bit large, but it is good that it's green today. I mean, I don't think I would take this just based upon this because yesterday's bar was down. So it wouldn't be a trade that I would take. It's not a setup I would take, but I know you're already in it, Bob. Bob says, just trying to pump my own stock. Chris says, Cinna is sideways, not good. Well, you know, the way that I trade with Cinna, I look for sideways motion. To me, this is a positive because we're positive, break to the downside and reverse back up. But who knows? We shall see, right, Chris? Just my thoughts. Yeah. Well, I see, Chris, I like buying things when they're sideways because sideways motion leads to big moves. Big moves like this move back to sideways motion. So in my opinion, at least buying when you're in sideways motion and have a false breakout to the downside and reversal, that's an indication that it's going to move one way or the other, either to the upside or the downside, which hopefully it's to the upside. But if it's not, get out quickly to the downside. But, you know, a lot of my whole trading career has been looking for sideways motions with false breakouts to the downside or the upside and then shorting or buying out of that sideways motion. Because again, sideways motion leads to big moves. Big moves lead back to sideways motion. Yes says Cinna earnings Monday 28th. Okay, good to know. Thank you. Yes, I did not buy this though. All right, so listen, if you've had any changes today, please let me know. I'll get them up on the board. Before I do, just real quick, just want to remind everybody that I do offer private coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my students. I think I teach a really good course. The course is a total of 15 hours. 5 sessions, 3 hours apiece. I teach you in the course everything I've learned myself over the last 24 years, and also everything I've learned from my teachers and mentors that I studied one-on-one with, like Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Carrie Lavorne, Larry Williams. In the course that I teach you everything I've learned from my experience and from my teachers and mentors. So we go over every single type of market, deep dip buys, trend trading, crossovers, higher low V1s, return to value V1s, double bottoms, bullish divergences, and most important, we spend a lot of time on position size, adjusting for volatility. Where's your emergency stop? Where's your end of day stop? Where's your intermediate term stop? Where's your ultimate profit target? How do you phase out? All that kind of stuff. But when you're done with the with the course, you should have a really good grasp on putting together a good trading plan. Following it, however, is up to you when you're done. So if you're interested in doing the course with me, please send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. If you do reach out, I'll reply and ask you to set up a Skype call. Skype call's free. It's not a sales call. I'll never ask you if you want to take the course. It's just to get to know you a little bit better, learn more about your trading, your goals, your challenges, and then it's a good time for you to ask me about the course. And like I said, no sales pressure whatsoever. And then if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help the channel, helps keep the channel around, helps promote the channel and grow the channel, all that good stuff. So if you found something valuable today, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button before you leave. Okay, let's see. So Kamal. Oh, let me see. Where did I buy all my goodies at? All right, AGQ. I bought at 41.41. Is that right? Yep. And I'm not seeing my SPY trade. Oh, there it is. SPY trade 323.50. Okay. Alrighty. So 41.41 is my entry. Well, that's a good start. And then SPY. $323.50. Is that right? $323.50. Yep. All right. So those are the positions. Now, I know Steve told me he got in AGQ. All right, let me see. Okay, so Kamal got out of BMRN with a profit, so that's what's important. PD, also a profit. Nice going, Kamal. JD, that one was a bit of a loss. Cinna, remember there's earnings on that. Come on. For what it's worth, but that's not till Monday. And AGQ. Oops. All right, so far, Steve and AGQ. David says Apple had a higher low V1. Let's take a look. Yes, it did. But the most valid higher low V1s, David, happen in the value zone. Technically, we need to be below the -1 ATR channel, below the green line, rally into the value zone, get that higher low V1 in the value zone. But nonetheless, a higher low V1, kind of like I was talking about yesterday with that stock that went rocketing up, higher low V1s generally can trend easier than lower lows. Just like here. Here we had a lower low, it bounced and then failed, right? Because the people that bought down here, when you buy a lower low, people have they're a little quick on the trigger once it goes up because they were able to buy a good price, and then they want to hurry and lock it in before it pulls back. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is lower low from these guys here. So that's what happened. People bought the low, they sold the first bounce, then it came back down and people stepped in today again. And this is a stronger signal, but ideally it'd be better up here in the value zone, or if it was under 30, over 30, and then the higher low V1 or V2 happened over 30 would be better. But a higher low V1 or V2 is always better than a lower low. I guess that's my point. Johan got out of Twitter. Yeah, okay. Nice trade though. And I don't know, Johan, did you take profits along the way up? I have a feeling you would. VWM or VMW. Okay, so that one was a little bit of a loss. Yas is an AGQ. The metals are wild. This could be a wild one. But you don't see this set up very often. When you get a 30 RSI at the 100-day moving average confluence. You get a lot of 30 RSIs near the 200, but something has to go down so fast, so hard in order to get a 30 at the 100. So it's a nice V1, nice close above the 200. I mean the 100s. I'm so used to saying 200 with the 30 RSI and under 30, over 30. So if it closes below that 100 tomorrow, I'm out. Hopefully it will be a little small close. Hopefully it'll be a big bounce right up into about here. That'd be great. Frank says, Mark Minervini made a fortune with sideways moves. Yeah, that's right. I mean, you're better off buying when things are going sideways and it's not on anyone's radar, and sell into the strength once it starts its momentum move. But if you start chasing momentum moves, well, then you're a momentum trader, but momentum can give out quickly. And so, yeah, majority of my teachers have really tried to imbue to me the importance of sideways motion, buying in the sideways motion and selling into the strength. Quad says, thanks, Greg. I'm in AGQ and Cinna. I got the memo after close that they were going to be earnings Monday. We'll see what it does tomorrow and likely sell then. Yeah, you have until Monday. All right, so we have Quad. And we have Quad over here also. So yeah, just Kamal and Quad, just remember they have earnings. And I don't know if it's in the morning time or in the evening time. Okay. So Brian is out of Twitter. All right, so that leaves, no one's in Twitter now, right? No. All right. So we'll take Twitter off the board. And looks like Brian has Merck. All right. $83.28. Okay, got you there, Brian. Frank says, I did take a halfie on AGQ. All right. Frank, 1/2. Gotcha, Frank. That's a good move. You know, half position because it is double leveraged, right? If you have a maximum loss and you divide it by the 2 ATR, then you don't have to factor in whether it's 1 times, 2 times, 3 times. But if you're using a percentage of your capital, like 5% or 10%, then you may want to adjust because it is double leveraged, right? So if you normally take a 10% position size and you're buying a 2 times leverage, then it, not a bad idea to take a 5%, because a 5% and a 2 times leverage is the same as a 10% in a single. So good move there, Frank. Bob is out of FCFS. Okay. Yeah, that one just wasn't cooperating, right, Bob? Remember, we gotta keep the weeds out of our flower bed, and that was starting to become a weed. Johan says, yes, phasing out on the way up. Net 8.3% gain. Nice. I'm really glad to hear that, Johan. All right. So that leaves me with Overnight Spy. Zynga's good. Did hit 1 profit target. Still have Gary Yass and Quad in there. Did close above the 50, so that's good. Next place I would get out with the half would be either if I had a close below the previous day's low or if I reject this 50-day moving average up here. Amazon was able to hold green, so that's good for my puts. Apple was able to hold green. That is good for my puts. And we had a little rally back off the day. Just one more time, this was such a great setup, and I kind of want to explain. This was this 5-minute trade that I had in Apple, but again, look at the big down bar. This was a lot larger than 1 ATR, meaning it took an awful lot of selling to get that price to move more than 1 ATR. Once you have down moves, it consolidated a little bit and then came back up, but it came back up to halfway of this bar, where that's where it's going to have some theoretical resistance from the 50 fib number. So when it got back up to the 50% fib number, retracement of that big bar, I thought, okay, this would be a good short if I get a signal. The trigger was a V1, rejection of the 50-day, rejection of the 50 RSI, and you can see, look how it just took off immediately. I left a little bit on the table, but maybe not too much, I guess, here, but I was getting ready for the podcast. And I was like, okay, that was a good move. And then it went lower, then it went higher, and I thought, oh, that was a good move. And then it went lower, and I was like, dang it, right? But I would have never stayed in for this whole move anyway. But, look at this big bar. See the big bar here? See how we came down and tested halfway? So if you have a down bar, you're going to find resistance, not all the time, but a lot of the time at 50%. If you have a down bar, 50% retracement up. This is the opposite. You have a big up bar, 50% retracement down, and it held. So that's a good sign. And so AGQ, yep, 4141. That's an easy number to remember. Glad to hear that, Johan. All right. Well, listen, if anybody has any other questions for me, please let me know. If there's anything I can clarify. Appreciate that. Yes, David, that was a higher low V1, but technically not like a really good valid one, because the best higher low V1s happen within the value zone. This is, keep in mind, Apple still has the 50-day moving average above us, the -1 ATR channel above us, and if we could break back over the 200-day or the 50-day moving average tomorrow, it would be fantastic, because it would then be a higher low break back above, right? Here we had a lower low and closed above, but I don't like buying those V's. I don't like buying an under over 50 from a lower low. I'd rather buy something that created a higher low and then closed above 50. That has a lot more staying power to the upside. All right, well, let's see what's happening. Apple's up 8 cents after hours. AGQ is up 34 cents after hours. It's up 0.82%, everybody. Hey, that's good. That's a good start. Amazon's up $1.20. Qs are up 29 cents. SPY's up 24 cents. Zynga, unchanged. Ooh, I like that AG cube almost being up 1%. That's good. All right, well, listen, it is a beautiful day. I'm going to go hiking, go tromp around up in the mountains, come back, grab something to eat, do my shoulder exercises. Then I have a little Skype call tonight with Quad. So looking forward to that Quad. And so listen, I appreciate everybody coming today. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Please go out and do something nice today for one human and one animal. Just say hello, be nice, do a nice gesture. It really might make that person's day. And if you could also do something nice for an animal, that would be doubly as good. Give them a little treat, take them on a walk, give them a little scratch or a little rub, or throw the ball or something, right? So always like to leave everybody off with that, just to try to do something nice for somebody and something nice for an animal every day. Okay, well, I think that's it. I appreciate you coming. Have a good rest of your day. Be safe, be good, and tomorrow's Friday, so the end of the week already. But appreciate you being here, and if you did like today's podcast, I'd appreciate if you get the thumbs up button. So take care, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation, and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.